You listen to talkSPORT. It is the Sports Bar Weekend, and I'm Adam Catterall, Jermaine Pennant alongside me. England through to the semi-finals. They're going to be facing Netherlands on Wednesday evening. Tuesday, it'll be Spain against France. Blockbusters galore. Who will be in that final next weekend? Euros 2024 is well and truly hot right now.
This is a proper test. This is where it starts.
What are you talking about? They've all been proper tests for England. They've all been tests.
Slovenia, Slovakia,
Proper
Denmark,
test. Proper test.
Switzerland.
Proper test, man. Low block. Proper tests. 03717 22 3344. Get in contact with the show. You listen to the Sports Bar Weekend on talkSPORT. Before we carry on with your calls, let's have a little bit of a listen to this, shall we? Because Faye Carruthers has been catching up with a jubilant Jude Bellingham. Here's what the England midfielder had to say after the penalty wins.
Jude, it's so good to see you. First time we've chatted this tournament. Huge smile on your face. Congratulations, you're into the semi-finals.
I'm happier to see you than the win, to be honest. You're one of my favourites, so obviously a lovely night for our country. Again, it's not the way we want to win. We want to go out and win and steamroll teams, but it's unrealistic at this level. We play against teams that are really well organised, and they're not going to give you anything easy. So you have to earn it, and you have to show character like that at the end. 5 out of 5 penalties rarely happens at this level. So really proud of my teammates and the staff. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, who's been really diligent in getting everyone to practice properly. So it pays off in the end. So we're grateful to all them.
It really did. You were second up to take it. What was going through your head?
I had my routine, and I knew the way I wanted to take it, and I felt confident. I felt like if I followed that, even if you miss, there's some kind of comfort in that, in the terms of you can do the things as best as possible, and sometimes the goal is just better. But on this occasion, I was just happy to get the best of him, and really proud of the teammates that came on. Such a difficult job coming into the game and then having to take a penalty. We've seen it in the past in multiple finals before, club and country. It's such a difficult role, so I'm so proud of everyone.
Listen, we wouldn't have even been here if it wasn't for that spectacular overhead goal the other night. I was behind the goal for it. Tell me what was going through your head for that, because we've not heard from you about it.
I can't really think back to it, to be fair. As soon as it happened and it was over, I was more focused on this game. You can never really get a chance to relax. A great moment. I think to be able to deliver for my teammates in a moment like that is what I'm proud of the most. They've done so much to help me settle into this squad, and if I can help them, a tiny little bit on the way to hopefully what would be a very historic tournament win, then I'll be so proud of that, and it will last long in my memory.
And you mentioned what happened 3 years ago to Bukayo Saka. He had a fantastic game today, put us in the position to take it to a penalty shootout with the equaliser, and then of course scored his spot kick as well.
I think he won the man of the match, right? Yeah, well, fully deserved. I think the thing I'm most proud of him about is the penalty, to be honest. I think it's such a difficult thing to go up and take after that kind of adversity that he faced. Skipper's messing about, so proud of him, and really happy for him. Deserves it.
Fantastic conversation from Jude Bellingham with Faye Carruthers there in the aftermath of England's victory against Switzerland earlier on today. 03717 22 3344. John, how are you, mate?
Hey, good evening.
Good evening, John. All yours, mate.
Sorry, Adam. Good evening, and good evening, Jermaine.
Good evening.
I'm fine, my friend. I'm a bit stressed earlier, obviously. But my first point I'd like to make, Adam, is one thing I really don't like is this criticism of Gareth Southgate. We've got to remember.
I don't like it as well. Gareth, I don't like it.
Let him speak.
We've got the most successful England manager in my lifetime. I'm 58. So look, support him and support the team. Those are my first 2 points. Mm-hmm. Look, they've not been playing great, but look, we got there, and you've got to trust in him. The only issue I do have with him, and I think Jermaine kind of mentioned it earlier, and other people have, the only issue I've got is that he's always reactive rather than proactive. In that you've got to put people on, like I've been shouting at the television, like we all do, in the last 2 games. Put Toney on, and that's always what I say. I think, I know it's going to be controversial. Gareth won't do it. I would start Ivan Toney in the next game. I would. I wouldn't start Harry Kane. There you go. And Either that or Watkins, because Watkins give you different problems, doesn't he? Jermaine knows more. You were a professional football player. I think Watkins, I don't know, there's something wrong with Kane, I think. I think he's injured or whatever. He's off it, isn't he? He's off it. What do you think, Jermaine?
He's basically just... Look, as you get older, you lose a little bit of that sharpness. And it's fair to say he can't get away from players and defenders like he used to, where a Watkins, he's got pace. And as a striker, that is an ultimate weapon. If you've got pace to be able to get away from your centre-back and get behind, it goes a long way. And Harry Kane, unfortunately, has lost a little bit of that. He's never really had it, but he's not as sharp as he once was.
That's the key word. It's the sharpness of it. It's the thirst to be on that penalty spot, on that 6-yard line, when people like Saka are pulling the ball back. He just isn't there. He doesn't look like Harry Kane.
But if the ball was to drop to him inside the six-yard box, it would put it in the back.
But he's got to be there. He's not being there.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you very much, John. Much appreciated, mate. Gabby, how are you?
Hello, you all right, guys?
Yeah, good, mate. Go on, pal.
Do you know what? I completely agree with John there, to be fair. And look, I was just listening there and what you were saying about Harry Kane. I think the best... Listen, I love Harry Kane. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's done so well. But I think with Ollie Watkins, you saw it tonight with the pressing. And do you know what? If there's someone like Ollie Watkins on that pitch, it needs someone to press the back four, whereas Harry Kane wasn't doing that tonight. And you think, we were so after a while we just end up sitting back, and then they come on to us. And with Harry, if you had someone like Ollie, I think that's the only thing. So I think the shape with the three at the back tonight was fantastic. I thought it looked good, especially when when Luke Shaw come on. I think in the semi-finals that could be a great shape for us going forward. I just think, like you say, if you took Harry Kane off in 60 minutes and put Ollie Watkins on, you can't drop Harry Kane. You just won't be able to do it.
It's frustrating, isn't it, Gab? Because you look at it and you can see you're now talking about that from a defensive point of view, and I completely agree. I was looking at this on a couple of occasions today. Ken wasn't going on the press, but then the energy of Foden and Bellingham and those characters, they were pressing, they were going where it should be led from the guy who is the number 9. Ollie Watkins does that week in, week out for Aston Villa. Week in, week out. That's one of his major strengths. He's in the defender's face. Don't let him rest. Does not let him rest. And if he's being backed up by Foden, by Bellingham, by Saka, by these guys, we're going to win that ball higher up the pitch, and then who knows what's going to happen.
And let's not go and underestimate this. He was the second top goal scorer in the Premier League behind Haaland. He's English as in the Premier League, top goal scorer.
Oh, listen, I agree with everything that's just been said. We've had John on, we've had Gabby on, and the majority of people that are ringing in tonight, it's about whether you do it or not, and whether you have those cojones to say to Harry Kane, listen, mate, you are not at it right now. You're one of the best, but right now you are not at it.
And I'm sure he would, the guy that Harry Kane is, I'm sure he would understand and accept it as well.
Would he?
I think surely he knows after he comes off these games thinking, "Ooh, I won great today, but we got through." He's not coming off thinking, "I was the man today."
He's not contributing at all.
This is what I'm saying. I'm sure he's not coming off thinking, "Yeah, I played well. I did this, I did that." We all do it. We all come off the pitch. We all come off the pitch after a game and analyse our own game. I used to do it thinking, I should have done a bit better.
Got away with one there, yeah. All right.
Or we won it, don't care. But I should have. Yeah, I was off it today.
Do you know, like, when this might be a bad comparison, but whenever I used to watch Didier Drogba, right? Drogba didn't have to score to influence the game. He'd be a menace. He'd hold up play would be great. He'd bring in others. He'd make movements in order to help others. Listen, a large percentage of the time, he'd be on the end of the crosses banging it in the back of the net, wouldn't he? I'm looking at Harry Kane. I'm thinking, okay, you're not scoring, okay, right? You're not getting into the position to score, okay. But the ball's bouncing off him. The hold up, and people might mourn and say, well, Pickford's going long and there's nothing. He's not winning the header. He's not doing anything. He genuinely isn't contributing to. Listen, he might be a great leader. Just his presence might be a thing. But when it comes to the actual technicalities of the game of football, what we've seen so far in this tournament, he has not contributed.
as what he
would normally
do and what he's known by.
And people say, "Well, what are you talking about? He scored the winner in the game that got us through last time." Yeah, but come on, man. He's what, 3 years? He was in that position, right? Fair play to him. There's plenty of opportunities today for him to be in the position, and he just was not there. Toney, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks, James. Brilliant show as usual. Liverpool fan, so big props to Jermaine, man of the match in that Champions League final. We never won.
See, everyone keeps denying it. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that.
You deserve it.
Cheers,
mate.
Tony.
Shame Crouchy weren't on for the end of your crosses. But,
I know.
Managers make a big difference, and I think tonight, I don't know. Did Kane ask? It looked like he bowled it a little bit with the penalties. I thought he could have stayed on for the penalties. It looked like when he bumped into Southgate, he asked to be taken off, and so I think really,
I'll be honest, Tony. I doubt that. Kane would have wanted to stay on.
And take a pen.
But there weren't long left. There was like 5 minutes left. He didn't look dead. I mean, he's played pretty dead for most of the tournament, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have thought someone like that to take a penalty, saying that you're a penalty taker as well. I don't know. It's a bit like Mbappe the other night. I just felt like, I don't know. He's looking tired.
And that's it.
I was a little bit surprised to take off Kane so close to the penalty. That part I was like, that's a strange one. But
for me, that was purely about physicalities and what he was contributing in that particular moment. I would never, ever question his character. He's absolutely, if he's fit, able, and part of it, give him the football. If England won a penalty in that game, he's 100% taking it.
Oh, of course.
100% taking it. Yeah. Keep your calls coming. 03717 22 33 44. We'll get you back on in a minute.
Was ist das? talkSPORT?